Good morning and happy new year to you. It is January 1st, 2025, and I think we had all 3 seasons in the time that we took off from making videos. So we took some time off, as you probably noticed. From December 2nd was our last video, although we did upload some shorts to now. We were off just enjoying doing the thing and enjoying not being on the hamster wheel of making videos and doing all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to 2025. I think it's going to be a great year. I am happy with how our little channel has grown. I think we're up to 460 subscribers. I would like to get to 1,000 by the end of the year, by the end of 2025. I think that'd be cool. The purpose of the channel is to be the primary marketing arm for what we sell on the farm. And what we sell is non-GMO, organic, grass-fed cattle and lamb, as well as chicken. So soy-free chicken, for that matter. So if we can sell more of that and we're growing our customer list, that's a great thing. We'd also like to build the farm up to be a profitable enterprise at some point. And we're not quite there yet. When we started this project 2 years ago, we had no infrastructure. We didn't even have a house. We had to build a house, we had to build a barn, then we had to put in all the fence, and now we're putting in water and electric. We had to buy livestock. We had to do all this stuff. That's a huge thing, and God has blessed us. I have a business there where we're kind of bankrolling the farm, but someday the farm will stand on its own. Our goal is to leave this farm to the next generation, hopefully our kids, or whomever decides to take it over from the family. We want to leave them a profitable enterprise. We don't want to saddle them with debt. We don't want to saddle them with responsibility that they can't afford. We want the farm to be able to support itself, and that starts with making smart decisions on infrastructure and projects and where we spend our money and that type of thing. It's a good process. It's a good plan. God willing, we'll get it done. I have faith. So that's kind of the plan. We did make some money on the farm this year, which is cool. So we did really well with our sheep sales and did really well with our cattle sales. So we took that money and immediately reinvested it back into the farm. So I'll show you a little bit of that. And I've got some projects going on that we're working on, show you some of that. And I'll do my very best to slide back into this video making thing. I'm a little rusty. It's been some time. So there we go. Let me show you what's up. But before I begin, before I show you the stuff, the cool stuff, because everybody always wants to see stuff, goals. Goals are important. Our goals in 2024, I'd say we pretty much accomplished them all. The goals in 2025 are a little bit different. So we've got a little bit of a lull time while we let the good family friend and the farmer who hays out our pastures, let him run his lease out. We aren't going to be adding too many livestock, and we're kind of locked in on how much land that we have available for grazing right now. So the goals in 25 are going to be getting a perimeter fence up around that hay field. That's a big deal, but we're not going to subsection it off because we can only graze it in the winter. Another goal will be getting access to parts of our property that used to be pasture but are now woods. And, eventually we may turn it into like a silvopasture type product. But for now, we just need to get access in there. And we do have some limited grazing that we can do in there. So access is a big thing. And finishing our water project for our existing pasture is a really big thing too. I'm still the weather hasn't been cooperating. It's been wet. But I want to get in some rock pads that will put big 300-gallon stock tanks on, and that will dramatically take away from the amount of time, or I guess save us time on running around with the water wagon and filling stuff up. So the money we spend on the farm, we try not to spend it on things that rust and depreciate, I think, as Joel Salatin says. Although we do buy equipment, and we buy equipment smartly in a way to multiply our work effort. But where we want to spend money is on infrastructure. It saves us time. And equipment can do that, but you don't want to go overboard with equipment. That's why we will never have large farming equipment. It's just not what we do. We're not good at it. We are ranchers, we're grazers, so we gotta spend money on that side of things, even though equipment is cool. Anyways, I'm rambling about equipment, but those are the big goals for the year. It doesn't sound like much, but when you start to get into land clearing and doing construction projects like water pads and just all the other stuff that comes up on the farm, it's a lot. So we'll try to get all that stuff done. Okay, now I'll show you the cool stuff. I did a video on this guy early on in our channel. I'm not even sure if it's still up, but this is a Polar King International 16-foot freezer trailer. And when we bought it, I was like, holy moly, how are we ever going to fill this thing up with food? It's crazy, right? But it is our primary unit for storing frozen meat. It's also what we use to deliver large quantities of meat. So if we have to deliver multiple cows or pick up beef. Oh my gosh. See, told you the first day back. I'm a little bit rusty. Pick up beef from the butcher. We do it with this guy. It's a great asset to have, and we love it. We'd highly recommend it. It basically runs 24/7 and does the trick. But one of the things that we were lacking... Okay, well, one thing that does happen when it's cold and raining and then it's temperature cycles like it has been in this Ohio weather, the door freezes shut. Let me get the patented door opening tool. I'll be right back. Ha ha ha! Just like Half-Life. My millennial friends will understand that. Okay, if you very carefully pry this, don't break the fiberglass, but if you just give it just a bit of a nudge, it's better for it than yanking on this handle and potentially causing issues where you break the handle or rip the bolts out of the fiberglass. So there we go. See, easy peasy. Doesn't hurt the door. Everything's good. Okay, bye. Ugh. Super stoked to get these Rubbermaid containers. So this is how we warehouse our meat. It's very cold in here. Also kind of noisy with the compressor running up there. But these containers, freezer grade containers are extremely expensive. So we were able to use some of the profits from the farm, or most of the profits of the farm, to buy 25 of these totes, and they're labeled, and we put our food in them, and it's pretty darn cool. Those boxes on the ground, we normally don't put boxes on the ground. Those are going to be used for dog food for livestock guardian dogs, and for chicken stock for our own consumption. So those are chicken backs. We're getting those processed through, but it was a blessing to get these containers. These are so much nicer than what we were using before. And I believe I bought these from Uline, I think. We get a lot of stuff from them, but they work all the way down to like negative ridiculous, which we'll never get to in this trailer, and they don't break. These totes back here that we got at Home Depot, if you look at these things wrong when they're this cold, they will break, and it just doesn't work out all that well. So we're eventually getting rid of all those, and these white totes just look so much cleaner and so much nicer. But we're pretty stoked about that. It's good stuff. All right, so that was one of our big purchases. Close this thing back up. Show you one of our other big purchases. We made an investment in, it's wet. We made an investment in radio technology for the farm. So in the RTV, we installed this Midland GMRS radio. We use GMRS on the farm. We have a license. We do the whole thing. I have my ham radio license too, so I've had that since I was a teenager. I've always been interested in radios. These are a huge safety enhancement and security enhancement for the farm. So in the RTV, we always have a radio that can reach, miles back to base station here. We have a similar radio in the house, and of course we carry our radios in our pocket with these slick antennas from Radio Made Easy that give us high gain, among other things. And they work out really, really well. So that was part of the infrastructure. The other part of the infrastructure was installing a repeater on the house. So we used a Midland repeater box. We put the antenna way high up on the peak of the house, and we've got repeater coverage on GMRS pretty much all the way into town, which is cool. So we can communicate anywhere on our property and not have any issues. From an RTV standpoint, I'm pretty stoked about this. This is a custom mount that I made for this NMO, November Mike Oscar antenna mount. And I had to remove the old mount for, I think it's a like AM/FM radio antenna. And I put this guy on there. I was just super stoked about how it turned out. I gotta fluid film those bolts, but I used one of their clamps, and it's just drilling and tapping, but I still think it looks pretty cool. Anyway, so radios were a huge infrastructure increase. We did some other stuff on the ham radio side just so we have better communications with people we know. It turned out to be pretty sweet and took up a pretty significant portion of my time too. Lessons learned from Hurricane Helene, from when I went down there to volunteer, are going to stay with me for a long time. This whole communications deal, I mentioned ham radio among other things, I cannot stress how important it is to have communications in vehicles and at your home and on your person, because cell phones will go out. Luckily they're with us, thank God, pretty much all the time, but having a backup communications plan is massive, and oftentimes it is a matter of life and death. it's a lot of money to get radios set up, a lot of time, there's a learning curve and all that. But what we saw in North Carolina and Eastern Tennessee is that a once-in-a-lifetime experience, once-in-a-lifetime disaster, having communications and getting information from the outside can mean someone living or someone dying. And what is the value of human life? It's up to you to put a number on it, but radios aren't that expensive. Anyway, on my truck, I did install a ham radio. I've been meaning to do that in my truck forever. Ham radio in my truck. Got the antenna installed. One of the things I saw down in North Carolina were a lot of nifty ways to mount antennas, and that's pretty sweet right there. It's a lip mount from Comet. Highly recommend that. Just goes on there, and then Ford makes it really easy to add auxiliary stuff that runs off of power into the truck itself. So just pretty stoked with that whole thing. So radios, freezer totes and radios, man. Super exciting, super Gucci stuff when you live on a farm. All right, enough talking. Let's get on to chores here. Now let's get on to chores. A little bit of diesel smoke. It's a good thing. So, burning cardboard is kind of fun because it gives me a reason to burn stuff. But one of the other cool things is all that sawdust. I have a small dust collection system in my workshop, and I'm a 40-year-old man, but messing around with campfires is still pretty fun. Just word to the wise, don't pour the sawdust on a fire. If you don't know, city folk, dust, wood dust, and flower dust, and any type of dust like that is not only flammable, but it is explosive, and also the reason why many silos over the years have caught fire. Also, don't burn magazines. It's really annoying. Sometimes you have to, but oh, they blow away when it's windy. And it's always windy. Then you gotta go clean up magazines. But that's what sticks are for. Put the sticks on top. And you're good to go. Sorta. Or you can put a pallet on top. These pallets have multiple uses. And you can go breathe in the fine smoke and pick up all the things. The HOA around here, they'll yell at me if I don't pick up after myself. Oh yeah. You know, it's only been like an hour since we moved y'all. So that, let me see, that's Maisie, that's Mooey, baby Mooey, and that's the bull calf, who has been steered, and he's looking really good. Oh, I can't come over, there's a fence right here. Summer, and the ladies. Hey ladies! Golly, we moved them just a couple hours ago. Didn't have the water set up, so now we'll get them the water. Someday, we will have it to where we have water up here, and that'll make life a heck of a lot easier. That is for certain. So, yep, we'll see how she goes. This little Honda generator, man, I'll tell you what, they ain't the cheapest, but they last the longest. Good stuff, these Honda generators. Get y'all plugged in. Ugh. Get this untied. Oh, there's Mocha. All the calves this year had M names. Kind of keeps it easier to keep track of. We gotta unroll hay for these creatures later today. Are y'all ready? Then all the sheep are down there. So this is a hi Summer. This is a flurd, as we call it, and the flurd is sheep and cows. Turn this on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Probably gonna need to replace that switch. And we fill it up. I know, I don't mean to spray you. It's hard when you got a camera and hose and all the things. Mocha is cute. She's got kind of wispy hair in her ears. The cows are weathering over pretty well. Not a lot of forage out here, which is why we're still rotating them but feeding them hay. But that's okay. We're putting carbon into our soil, just like Greg Judy teaches, and it works out well. But they're not hungry. They're looking all right. Sheep will come over here too in a minute. Once I get the water filled up, then I gotta go move a hay bale and get ready. Someday we'll have water up here. We'll get there. It'll come eventually. All right, chart number 3 is we're taking hay up to the cows with a special guest appearance by the hardest worker on the ranch.
Do we fit through there?
What?
Do we fit through there?
That will fit.
Okay.
If you don't look, it'll fit. Mary, what was your favorite part about 2024 on the farm?
Changing jobs.
Changing jobs? What were you prior to being a full-time farmer?
I worked in higher ed, sitting at a desk, making cool college classes.
I think the benefits and the time off are probably better.
Guaranteed.
But our workplace politics are pretty non-existent, and they're related mostly to sheep and cows.
Tell that to Dodge.
Yeah, well, you know. But the bright side is, when I'm home, I get to spend time with my lovely wife, which is pretty cool. What are you looking forward to in 2025 on the farm?
Fence.
Fence?
And I want to see things turn green again.
Yeah.
And I want to grow all the food. More garden, more trees, strawberries.
Strawberries? I like strawberries.
Yeah. And this, I want to work on that over there.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Here, show them out the window.
Which way do I tilt?
Rotate it to the right. Yep. That over there, that used to be pasture land all down there. Way back when.
It could be again.
Could be again, that's right. Alright, send it back.
Alright.
Alright, we're gonna unroll this hay for these cows, and then I'll be back.
Oh my goodness. Alright. Bale unroller for the win. They don't know how to get out of the way. Come on! Hey, Summer. There it goes. And there they go. This is the best thing ever. We end up with this like circus parade of sheep and cows that are so happy. Good job, Summer. Yes, good girl. He'll come back around. The bonus is that this reseeds our pasture because there are all those lovely seeds in with the hay. So the animals are happy, and then we get these green stripes. And it's done.
Thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate it. Remember to like and subscribe and check out our store where we sell meat and ship it to all 48 lower states at www.lachlanhighlandsfarm.com. That is right. We ship beef and chicken and lamb to 48 states. So give us a look and support your local farmer, and God bless you all. Have a great night.